Hi guys, and welcome to Tom and Harry SMMA. Another day, another video. This video is a good one because it picks on a topic that we get hit on a lot with, and that is closing clients. How do you then do a presentation, but then ask for the business, get it landed? Like, how do you possibly do that without panicking and coming across super desperate? So in this next video, we're going to show you, and actually it's not so much unfortunately, Harry's going to take a step back. It's going to be me telling you. It's going to be me telling you how I would and have done it, and how I've coached hundreds of people to do it in the same way. Let's get into the video.
Right, mate. Let's get into it. So, Tom, you've been before you started your social media marketing agency, you were a sales coach for a massive company. You had, I don't know, I can't remember how many, like 60, 70 people under you. You were managing the floor. So you've been around the block, sold millions and millions of dollars worth of products and services previously, and obviously in your social media marketing agency. So you know your stuff. But for people that are from day one starting an agency, like me, when I started, didn't even know what closing was, didn't even know any sales terminology. What is like a close? What does that mean?
Okay. A definition of a close is literally you're closing the conversation in your favor. So it's essentially you're asking for the business and they've agreed to work with you. Closing is in every aspect, whether it's like even persuading your mate to come with you to a Taylor Swift concert, for example. He may not want to go, or she may not want to go. I'm a massive Taylor fan, as you can imagine. But like, it's like saying, would you want to go? No, I don't. Okay. Here are the reasons why. Do you want to go? Yeah, okay. It's getting a formal agreement, basically. That's all closing is.
Yeah. All right. So when I'm trying to think of the best way to start this. When someone's on a meeting, it's coming to the end. So the close happens at the end of a meeting, doesn't it?
Well,
or doesn't it?
Not always. And actually it can do, and it has to naturally happen at the end anyway. However, there are some tricks to the trade, which I'll tell everyone for free. What we have forgot to mention is please do subscribe to the channel, because we do give so much free content and we really want to help people move forward with digital marketing and SMMA. So going back to it, closing is not always at the end. What you cannot do is let's just clear up. You can't close without doing an element of presentation. So you can't ring someone up and say, this is what I do. This is how much it is. Would you like it? That's not closing. That's stupidity.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what we call closing. Closing is where you have got an appointment. You're now on it and you're talking through it, and you're getting to pricing, and you've delivered how much you are per month with exquisite detail and in an exquisite manner. Okay. You then need to ask for the business. Now, what Harry's asked me there is it should happen at the end, right? Yes, it should happen at the end. However, you need to kind of queue up that close at the end. You need to kind of, it's like lighting a fire. You need to lay some of the wood in a pile with some firelighters underneath, ready to light it towards, and off it goes. You have to throw in a few things to get the foundations ready for your close. The best way to do that is to kind of assume or drop in some what we call assumptive language whilst you're doing your presentation. So when you're doing the presentation and you're talking about running TikTok ads for your client, because they've got such great content, you can be like, when we start working together, I would be doing this for you. The trick of what you've said is the when we start working together, not if you decide to work, we decide to work together. It's not even that. It'll be if you decide to work with me, is probably what people say. We don't say that. I've never said that. So when I'm dealing with a client, future client, I will always talk in a manner that makes it sound like I've been working with them for a long time.
Yeah.
So when we start working together, when the project is underway for the both of us, like little things like that throughout your presentation mean that when you come to close, you can then hit them with, this is how much it is, and you're then trying to ask the business. Now the close bit, there's like 4 or 5 different closes. Now I'm not going to go into them. You know, we teach that in great detail in our academy. I go through each close with an example of how to deliver it in the academy. And it's fantastic. What I will give you is one for free, which is the assumptive close. Now, I have always used the assumptive close. The assumptive close is you do the presentation and before you give the price. Once you give the price, so let's go on industry standard pricing, which is for someone who's got testimonials, you should be charging $1,000 or more for someone with testimonials. Okay. Yeah. But I don't have testimonials, Tom. Yeah, that's a whole different video. Go back through our catalog and we cover how to get them and what to do if you haven't got them. Let's say you've got a couple of testimonials and you're delivering your price for meta ads with some email marketing and some social media management as a little package, and it's going to be $1,000 a month, €1,000, dollars, pounds, whatever. Okay, so Colin, love that name. So Colin, it's going to be $1,000 for all our service. It's $1,000 a month. Now, what do you do? You've just said it. So what do you do? The assumptive close teaches you to go, okay, Colin, so for everything I've just discussed, as I've gone through in great detail, we are only $1,000 a month, but you have your ad spend. On top of that, I'm going to make the ad spend work super, super hard for us. Hence, that justifies our fee and all the things that we've gone through as part of the presentation and the package. So really, it's a question of what start date are you thinking of at this stage?
Yeah. When do you think, yeah. So you're just assuming that they've already said yes, basically.
I'm not asking if they're happy with the price. I don't give a fuck what the price, if they're happy with the price. They're going to tell me if they're not.
What's the opposite of that, mate? So someone who sat there who couldn't start implementing the assumptive close, what's an example of what they're doing? Like they're doing wrong. Like, do an example of the way someone's closing really badly.
Okay. So if you're not doing an assumptive close, there's also a silent close, by the way. And so I'm now giving you two, which is really cheeky. But a silent close is where you say, okay, so for blah, 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 we're $1,000 a month, but you have your ad spend. Okay. The first person who talks loses.
I use that.
The first person who talks loses. Okay. You've heard me do this on calls before. I also do it when I deliver bad news to people. Like if there's a particular thing that my client wants me to do and I don't want to do it, or we're having a battle with my client over creatives or something like that, whatever it will be, I'll say no because of blah, 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 blah. And I'm completely quiet. I don't have to fill the silence. And it's the same with closing because it's pretty effective. And actually, when I say the first person to speak loses, no one loses, but it's the sense that if you then start going, the price is this, how does that sound? Like, is that in your budget? You know, is that what you had in mind? Blah, 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 blah.
The worst ones, mates, when people they'll say their price and then they'll negotiate it down before they even said anything. They'll say, I'm £1,000, but if you're not comfortable with that, I can probably do 850 or and they're already dropping their price because they're just not comfortable with the price they're giving. That's the worst.
Why not say, here's a thing that I have said, and I would say we teach it, but just say, right, so the price that with this is this and this and this, the price I'm comfortable going at for my services is $1,000 plus you've got your ad spend. And really at this stage, I'm excited about the project hugely and to work with you, Colin. So I'm actually in a position to start on the project in like a week. So now you're actually closing and you're asking for his approval on the date you start, not about whether he wants your service and is willing to pay the amount of money for your service that you're asking.
Yeah. So
it's incredibly powerful.
What's a bad way to do it, mate? Like what would...
Okay. Yeah, sorry. So what's a bad way to do it? Okay. So here we go. The most common one, which most people who are very, very young and very, very new, no offense, is that they go, okay, so for this, it's £1,000. Sorry, someone from America is calling me. Is £1,000. My service is £1,000. How does that sound? Or are you okay with that? So you're leading with a closed question. A closed question is a yes or a no. Do you want to go for coffee? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the club tonight? No. Okay, we'll go to a bar instead. They're closed questions. Tell me about your feelings of going to a bar tonight. fuck, you can't answer that with a no.
Yeah.
How would you feel if we went to the bar down the road tonight? You can't answer those questions with your yes or no. They're open questions. So you never want to close on a closed question. So does that sound okay?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound okay.
Obviously, it's not going to sound okay to them.
No. So that's one really, really bad way, is you just deliver the price and then you say, do you want it, yes or no, effectively. Yeah. Another really, really bad way of closing is closing too soon. So you haven't actually delivered all your presentation, and then you're trying to close them halfway through, or when you're kind of 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
And you've missed off massive chunks of information that helps them make their decision. That's poor closing, because you've not followed your process, which we teach, of course, throughout. You haven't followed it throughout.
Yeah.
And that gets into a lot of trouble.
What about picking up on buying signals and linking those to how you close?
Right. Well, that's a different type of close again. That's what we call a connection close, which we actually don't teach a lot, because we teach buying signals as a complete standalone topic.
Yeah.
But a connection close is literally you are connecting together all the things that they said they liked. So when you've talked about Instagram ads, no, fuck that. Let's talk TikTok. If you talked about the reach you can get on TikTok and the better cost per click you can get and better lead quality you can get on TikTok, and they go, wow, I didn't know that. Okay, that's good. You need to fucking mentally note that. That's a buying signal. And you can refer back to it and go, as you said, you liked this about TikTok ads.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because I like it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Or they go, oh, so you say, oh, we've worked with, we would love to run ads for you, and we're going to send it to a funnel, and the funnel will look amazing. It'll be a one-stop place where people get in, get off, and it will look branded, look like your website. Oh, right. Well, that's different. I didn't know you do that. Yeah. Make a mental note of it. You're going to connect it and refer back to it. Even when you say something like, it could be, we've had buying signals where I talked about how much the ads are going to be seen on an impression level from Instagram. And I've just gone, do you know what, when we start running ads with us, your local brand is actually going to be seen by well over 70 to 100,000 people in a month.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, doesn't mean you're going to get all those leads, but your brand is going to get amazing exposure in the process. Just naturally happens.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me, that's good. Yeah, fuck me, that is good.
Yeah.
So when you close, you need to connect them.
Yeah. My favorite buying signal, mate, is when people say, how would I get over my content to you? Or how would I get this over to you? Like, how do I email you all my images?
Yes.
Stuff like
Very good one.
Yeah, because when you pick up on stuff like that, we always make a massive effort about turning that into a little conversation. It doesn't have to take 10 minutes, but like we don't just say, oh, you just email them over, and then we move on with our presentation. We make that last a little bit longer to draw out the time, because all that process is allowing that client to put themselves in the position of working with us already. They're like, right, this is what I'm going to do when I'm working with them. If you can make that time last longer, when they get off the call, they're going to be like, they're already there working with us. So if they don't work with us, they're going to be like, oh, I'm going back. I'm almost going back, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you know what we say for those listening on, Spotify or watching us on YouTube? Do you know what we actually say, the answer to that question, which is completely true? So none of this is bullshit. Me and Harry, when people have said that to us, what would you need content-wise from us? It's a huge buying signal. Harry's nailed it. It is a huge buying. They're already imagining working with us as a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay. Huge. When they ask us that question, our response is, and Harry's heard me say this, I often go, well, do you know what? I'm actually quite demanding on content from my clients. I ask for a lot. I want the best. I want a lot, because I need everything to push your brand in the way that it needs to be pushed. Yeah. So I will be quite demanding from you, but it's for the good of the project.
Yeah.
And to do it, we have WeTransfer that we operate on. We have Google, what's it called? Dropbox. And we want everything pretty much when we can. And that gives us all the things we need to push this project forward. By saying it in that way, no one says that. No one says, I'm going to demand a lot from you when we partner. But by saying it, they go, fuck me, this guy doesn't mess around. He's good.
Yeah.
I need someone to make me accountable for the shit that that he needs from me.
Yeah.
No one says it. And like everyone will just go, oh, just we transfer it to me.
Yeah. Or they'll just
Or
say,
they get so excited and be like, oh, yeah, we transfer it. Like,
oh
this
yeah,
is
or they'll
great.
just say,
Oh my
yeah,
God, I
they'll
can't
just
believe
say,
I'm about
oh,
to sign a phone.
yeah, we'll get it from you, or we'll just use stock images, or they get all flustered. They don't have
They
a
go,
clear,
what the fuck's going on?
yeah. Well, I think that's a good video, mate. 15 minutes. Good
Yeah.
video, that.
I
Really
think
good
if you
video.
want to know any more about closing, there's lots of videos that we've done kind of here and there on closing. Check out my Instagram feed. There's a few things on there. More importantly, you can join the academy where there's a whole fucking module on closing and we give examples of it. And I talk about it as a lecture, lots of different lectures within the module. And you can learn firsthand from a sales coach like me that has sold millions of dollars and pounds. And has coached over hundreds and hundreds of people internationally and in the UK. And I was a sales coach by trade. So,
yeah, cool. Well, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. That was a good video, that, mate. It was a really good video.
thank you.
Well, yeah, and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 AM for tomorrow's video.